Hi there guys, Chatty Chatot here and welcome back to a top 5 guys. So guys, as per normal you voted and I do apologise, you voted a very long time ago. Unfortunately because of everyday life and all the new series that have been coming out on the channel, the top 5s have been put back a little bit, but regardless you voted and there was a clear winner as per normal. And today's clear winner was the poison type. So we're going to be naming our top 5 poison types today. Also guys, if you missed any of the other typings, there will be a link in the description below of all the different typings if you want to go and check those out. But before I even start guys, we're going to put one of these up. This is just my opinion guys. Like I say, it's based mainly on the anime. It's based on sort of the way that I've used them, the way that I've come across them in just normal gameplay as well as competitive. I'm not all there with competitive, so it's not. So yeah, so it's all based on my opinion. Also starters, evolutions, as well as ultra beasts aren't included on this list guys, because they're going to have their own little list. As well as legends as well. I've tried not to include legends as well because they're going to get their own little list. But without further ado guys, let's go and get on into our top 5. Number 5. Now number 5 is here for nostalgic reasons. I have used one in game for just normal gameplay, but I've never really used one competitively. I don't think it's very good competitively. But it's been in the anime like forever. Like it was there when I was growing up, and that is Charmak. Gotta say it like that, Charmak. Yes, that's right. Jess used Charmak or Ekans before it evolved, and I watched the anime from the very beginning, so I remember it really well. And it had its little poison sting and everything like that. And it just had this little attitude, and when it evolved it even got it just looked so derpy as an Ekans, and it was weird because like I say it just like got a whole new lease of life when it evolved into an Arbok, and I just really liked it, and I felt really sorry for Jess's Ekans and Arbok, so that's why I thought it deserved a mention, or well, the number 5 on this list. Also, what I did find weird whilst going through the anime and the games is that the actual front of it, of Arbok, actually changes when you go into different ones because they just couldn't make up their mind. But yes, Arbok is my number 5, mainly, like I say, nostalgic reasons. So let's move on anyway. Number 4. Now, number 4 is a little bit higher than number 5 for. Again, it's here for nostalgic reasons, but this one is actually reasonable at competitive. I've never used one myself. I have used one briefly in gameplay back in like Fire Red. Yeah, I used one in Fire Red. I used one briefly in Ruby, I think. Sorry, I just nudged my mic. And that is Wheezing. Yes, Wheezing is on the list as well. Now, the reason Wheezing, like I said, is higher up than Arbok is because it's actually really good competitively. It's there to, like, just be a wall. It can poison. It's got... sorry, it's because I've done a forfeit before this and my lips are actually burning off. So it is, like I say, it's bulky. It's got stockpile and things like that. And I've struggled to get rid of one. It's really quite annoying. I can't remember what tier it is off the top of my head, but again, James's coughing and wheezing in the anime were just so funny, and he loved those Pokemon, and it was really quite sad, like I say, when we got to the episode where they actually leave, and I did actually tear up because, like I say, I did feel sorry for their Pokemon. I really did. And then they got forced to evolve one episode. It was just very, yeah, random. But overall, it is quite a good Pokemon, and I think it's quite cool as a poison type, with its second head, sort of. Anyway, we'll move on to number 3, shall we? Number 3. Now, number 3 is one that I haven't really used very much, but I really like it, and I think I'm going to use it a little bit more often. And I've just got one that I've made competitively myself, and yeah, I think it's cool. I think it should be used more, and that is Zazzle. I think I said that right. Zazzle. Zazzle is a cool mon. I like the look of it. I think, I'm not sure whether I like the whole gender difference thing. It's a really hard one to get because obviously the gender ratio isn't right, so it's quite hard to get. What I would have appreciated is if there was like a male equivalent that was a little bit more, I don't know, not as slender, or you know, it's sort of based on like the fire gecko sort of thing design, which sort of, I can't remember what region they're from, but they literally do stick on walls and they are poisonous. They give off a chemical. It has been related to burns because the chemical is that intense, hence probably why Zazzle has its fire typing. And it's a cool one. I mean, it's shiny is beautiful. I love its shiny. Its shiny is just gorgeous. And then it gets its ability as well, which basically means it can poison the unpoisonable, if that's even a word. It can poison steel type, which is pretty good if you can use it. It's okay in competitive. You don't see it very often because it is a bit fragile. But if you can get it off right, and if you can give it the right support, then it can be used pretty well in competitive. I'm going to use it a little bit more. I think it's a cool mon, and I think it's a nice addition to the Pokemon world, really, with Gen 7. Hopefully they'll make some more cool looking mons like this in Gen 8. Anyway, moving on to the number 2 spot. Number 2. Number 2, again, we're going back to Gen 1. I'm sorry, there's a lot of Gen 1 here because I do like, it was really hard to choose with the ones below this. The number 1 spot was most definite, and most people who know me will know exactly what the number 1 spot is. But the number 2 spot is Nidoking. Now, I've been using Nidoking a lot recently, and it's here more because of the competitive side of things. When I was younger, I liked Nidoran, Nidorina, and Nidorino, but I didn't really like, and I like Nidoqueen, but I didn't really like Nidoking that much. I thought it was a bit too fierce. I didn't really like using it. But competitively, it rocks shop. It's so quick. Well, I say it's so quick. Usually people run a choice scarf on it, and they usually have like Thunderbolt and Sludge Wave and that kind of thing on it. It can do some damage. I mean, it's a really good special attacker. And I've been using, like I said, I've been using it a lot recently. And it can, if you can get it in on the white switch, it can do a lot of damage, and it can sweep quite a few mons if your opponent doesn't quite know how to deal with it, because it is bulky, it is scary, and it's not something you normally see. Because I believe it's in the UU tier. And its shiny is a bit weird as well. Well, I kind of like the shiny, actually, because the shiny is actually the blue of Nidoqueen. Yet, the strange thing is, Nidoking, fun fact, can't breed. Fix that, Nintendo. I mean, come on. They're from the same Nidoran group. It's weird. I mean, this is back in Gen 1 before we had genders and everything. So that's probably why. But the other strange thing is Nidoqueen's... you would think Nidoqueen's shiny would be the opposite, but no, that's green. Because that totally makes sense, Game Freak, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm rambling, but that is why Nidoking is in my number 2 slot. Anyway, guys, how are you liking the top 5 so far? What do you think should be the top 5 poison type? Have I got something wrong? Have I missed them on that you like? Why don't you comment down in the comment section below? What is your top 5? Why don't you go and let me know? Also, guys, as well, like I say, there'll be another poll going up as well soon. Hopefully, I will be able to run these a little bit more smoothly, and you guys can vote, and we can vote for the next top 5. But without further ado, guys, let's go and see what my number 1 spot is. Number 1. Number 1 is a mon I've used pretty much near the very beginning of my experience in competitive. I started doing competitive battling Gen 7, actually. I knew nothing before that. In Gen 6, I knew nothing. Pretty much when I first sort of started streaming and became a YouTuber and everything. but this mon has nearly been there from the very, very beginning. I use it an absolute ton. It's one of my favorites to use. Originally, when I first got it, I was thinking, what is this? How is this good? And that is Toxapex. Now, for people who know me, you really won't be surprised because Toxapex is amazing. Toxapex has a really good move pool. It's here mainly because of a competitive, and I've grown a bond with it since I've been using it. I've used it an absolute ton. I'm not fond of its shiny, but I do have a shiny one that I use. I prefer its normal colouring of blue over its red shiny. I think it should have got a bit of a different shiny than that, like a purple or maybe a green. It is based off like sort of like a sea urchin that can, and coral, which can cut and poison you as well. And it's a cool mon. It's a very strange design, but it gets moves like Baneful Bunker, which is basically its version of Protect, but the nice plus thing about it, if it's a contact move, you've got a chance of poisoning there. It also gets like things like Haze, so you can get rid of all those nasty swords dances, dragon dances, things like that. It also gets Toxic Spikes, which is amazing. That's another nice little hazard, which it doesn't get everything, but it can be really useful to spread poison throughout a team. And if they haven't got a good way of getting rid of it, then they are going to struggle against you. Last of all, it also gets like Scald as well, so you can get that burn. And it's just generally, unlike the main thing you usually see is Baneful Bunker and Recover. And that goes for the Toxic Stall, the classic Toxic Stall. I use that all the time. I love that mon. It's such a cool guy. And I don't know, I just really, originally it's not the most prettiest mon in the world, but I kind of like it. I think it's a very fearsome Pokemon, and it's not, if you don't know how to deal with it, I mean, it is very weak to some moves, but it also has its ability to counteract that. So if you switch out, it has Regenerator, which is its hidden ability, which is very good, which means it can boost up its HP whilst it's just sitting in the back of your party, while it's just rocking about, and then you can bring it back in again. So it is a really hard mon to get rid of. With that move, it just makes it so good, which is why it deserves to be an OU. And it's just a really, really good mon. I really love using it, and I won't stop using it. I will probably be using it a lot more in the future. So yeah, so watch out for my top picks, guys. Don't forget about that Toxic Stall. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked the video and my top 5. What is your favourite poison type? Why don't you tell me in the comment section below, or why don't you even tell me your favourite top 5? Also, guys, like I already said earlier on in the video, there is going to be another poll on a minnow, on all sorts of different minnows, so go and watch out for them. Don't forget to take part so you guys can pick your favourite type for me to go and do next time. Also, guys, like I said, there will be links in the description below of all the different types that I have done before, so you should go and check those out. If you haven't got your Pokemon fixed, guys, don't worry, there's other stuff as well as the top 5s, there's battle videos, there's stream highlights, there's also the different Nuzlockes as well, as a bit of Minecraft stuff and some random guest games, so go and check those out. So you guys, like I say, you won't get bored, there's plenty of stuff here for you guys to watch. Anyway, guys, I've chatted on enough as per normal, and I will see you in the next video. But remember, guys, Chatot!